Hello children, welcome in the second video of storage of water, lesson number 3. In previous video, we have learned about water cycle and traditional ways of storing water. So today we are going to see the modern ways of storing water, or you can say recent system of storing water. First one is dam. The most important of all recent water storage is the dam. Dams made it possible to store huge quantities of water. As a result, more land was brought under the cultivation. Cities began to grow. It becomes possible to set up factories and generate electricity. Maharashtra has several large dams such as Jaikwadi, Koyna, Ujni and Yaldari. See, dams, as I said, they are very useful to store water of rivers. In olden times, people don't have that much machineries and the techniques was not advanced, so they used to have bunds to stop water if the rain is heavy. But nowadays we can see there are huge dams are built in all over the big rivers, whether it is a Krishna, Kaveri or Godavari. In Nanded also we have Vishnupuri Dam. And if we talk about Maharashtra, there are Jaikwadi, Koyna, Ujni and Yaldari. More about these 4 dams I will show you the slides afterwards. Water stored in dams are used for drinking, for farming, factories and generate electricity. So this helps the village and cities to grow. As you all know, the basic necessity of human being or any living thing is water. So wherever water is there, we will see the settlement over there. Now next one is borewell. Earlier, wells were dug to reach the water under the ground, but it was not possible to draw deep-seated groundwater. Now, with the help of electric pumps, it is possible to do so. Borewells are dug for this purpose. These wells are very deep but very narrow. See, borewell is a modern method of storing water. They are dug with the help of electricity. In traditional ways we have seen wells. They are not that much deep as compared to borewells, but they are very broad. If you see the circle of the well, it is very broad. But these borewells, it is very small. Only in that they insert a pipe. So that much diameter they dug according to the size of the pipe. As they are deep seated in the ground, water is deep seated in the ground, because we have learned how rainwater goes down under the ground and settle down there. So to take out that water, it requires electricity and pumps. So borewells are very deep and narrow. Hand pumps or electric pumps are used to draw water from the borewells. If you go in village, you can see a common hand pump. And if you talk about the houses, we have electric pumps, which goes directly, the water goes from directly in the tank. Now next one is panpoi. People out on the road need water when they are thirsty. In some places, big clay jars of drinking water are kept for the use of such people. This water is offered free of charge. This is known as Panpoi. Panpois are set up by individual or institutions. Panpois are very useful, especially in summer. You can see in the picture a big clay jars of drinking water are kept, and they are free of charge for people out on the road. So what do you mean by panpoi? Panpoi means a big clay jar of drinking water kept free of charge for people out on the road is called panpoi. Water from panpoi is made available free to everyone. They are set up by individuals also. If any person want to set up, they also can set up, and some institutions they also set up. So these are very useful at the time of summer, because when we come out in summer days we cannot carry that much water which we require for a day, and the people who are working, laborers many or rickshawalas, they can't carry that much water, and if they carry a bottle also, again it will become hot. But in clay jar they can get a cool water. Now next, do you know children, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj gave the following instruction for the construction of hill forts. See, as we have learned early that all living things settle where their needs are fulfilled. So at that time these people required forts, and the forts may be in the forest or on hill area. So what instruction Shivaji has given while constructing the fort to the people? Let us see. A fort should be built after first finding out if there is water in the place. If there is no water, and if it become necessary to fortify the place, then by breaking the rock, reservoirs and tanks should be built. One should not wholly depend upon the supposition that there is a spring of water in the fort and that it would somehow or other supply enough water. For storing water, 2 to 4 reservoirs should be constructed. Water from them should not be allowed to be spent. The water in the fort should be well protected. From olden times only, people are taking care of water. As I said, water cannot be reproduced. Whatever water is there, the nature is recycling it. There is no factory to produce the water. Okay, this much amount of water is finished, we can produce new water. This is not going to happen. So whenever we are using water, we have to use water very carefully. So with this we have finished the lesson. So what we have learned in this lesson: traditional method of water storage, modern method of water storage, economical use of water, how we can use water precisely economically, how we can use water economically. Instead of using shower, we can use bucket. Instead of using pipe to clean the vehicles, we can use bucket. In whatever we want to use water for planting, gardening, we can use the water which has been left by washing the vegetables. So in this manner we can save the water and we can reuse the water. We can have water harvesting in our house. Whenever rain comes in the rainy season, if you have water harvesting in your house, the water can be stored in the underground tank and which can be used for a year. So in this manner there are so many ways to save water. So water is a natural resource. All living things need water. We must keep this in mind when we use water. So now we'll see the definition of a dam. A dam is a structure built across a stream or river to hold water back. Dam can be used to store water, control flooding and generate electricity. Now we see the Jayakwadi Dam, which is in Aurangabad district. Jayakwadi Dam is an earthen dam located on Godavari river at the site of Jayakwadi village in Paitan Taluka of Aurangabad district in Maharashtra, India. The Harsh project is one of the largest irrigation projects in the Indian state of Maharashtra. The surrounding area of the dam has a garden and a bird sanctuary. Though I have visited so many times Aurangabad, but I never visited this dam. So children, if you get a chance, you also visit this dam and see how it has been built. Next one is Yeldari Dam. Here we can see in the map there is a hydropower plant. Hydropower plant means where electricity is developed. Yeldari Dam is an earth-filled dam on Purna river near Yeldari in Jintur Taluka of Parbhani district in the state of Maharashtra in India. It is the second largest dam in Marathwada region. Dam is renovated and developed as a big reservoir and also tourist attraction spot in Parbhani district. Third one is Ujjani Dam. It is also known as Bhima Dam or Bhima Irrigation Project. On the Bhima river, a tributary of the Krishna river, is an earth-filled cum masonry gravity dam located near Ujjani village of Madha Taluk in Solapur district of the state of Maharashtra in India. As I said, these are all famous dams of Maharashtra. Koyna Dam. The Koyna Dam is one of the largest dams in Maharashtra, India. It is a rubble concrete dam constructed on Koyna river which rises in Mahabaleshwar, a hill station in Sahyadri ranges. It is located in Koyna Nagar, Satara district, nestled in the western Ghats on the state highway between Triplan and Karan. So all these are the famous 4 dams which are in Maharashtra. See, we have seen about water, everything like modern ways of storing water, traditional ways of storing water, but we must know how the water is polluting. Why we must know? Because to save water from pollution. So what is water pollution? Water pollution is the pollution of bodies of water such as lakes, river, seas, the ocean as well as groundwater. It occurs when pollutants reach these bodies of water without treatment. Wastewater from home, factories and other buildings get into the water bodies. As a result, water gets contaminated. After Modi become Prime Minister, and as he has started Clean Ganga plan, so after that we might have seen that Gangas are, whatever rivers are there, people are trying to keep it clean. As at the time of Ganesh Chaturthi also we can see government is not allowing to put anything in the river, whether they are flowers or any garbage. But before, people are not that much sensible. They are washing their clothes, washing their cattle in the river, and that water is only coming. Why we are purifying water at home? Because we are not sure, though the government is purifying the water in their plant, but we are not sure the water which is coming to our house is safe for drinking, because so many pollutants are occur in these water bodies without the treatment. If factories are there, their waste also come in the river. So children, as you are the future of the India, you have to imbibe these good habits of saving water and to use water economically. So how can you inculcate good habits to use water economically? By, you have to say that I will not unnecessarily waste water while brushing the teeth. You have to promise yourself, I will use mug or a glass, anything, so that the tap will not open. Otherwise, you will be very careful while brushing the teeth, and you will not waste the water while filling the jars or buckets or tanks. And you have to inform immediately to your elders if you find any leaky tap or any leaky pipe in your surroundings. So in this way, you must imbibe good habits, inculcate good habits in order to use water economically, or indirectly you save the water. So I think children, I have explained all the concepts which are there in the lesson, and you have understood very well. Thank you. God bless you.